What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You're watching SpoolingUpPerformance. Today, we got a special treat for you. We got a 2001 Audi S4, and we're gonna be doing a full downpipe installation on this car, and we're gonna show you the how-tos and up-close video on what you need to do to gain access to some of the bolts and what you need to take apart to make it easier on you when you're going through this install. So we're at Justin's house right now. You've seen his Audi on the channel before or on Instagram. So we're gonna be ripping this thing apart, putting the new downpipes on, and getting it ready to go to the local shop here to get the full 3-inch exhaust fabbed up and put on. So stay tuned. All right, guys, so this is the downpipe and test pipe setup for the 01 S4. These are made by Power Go Motorsport. This is a great alternative if you don't want to spend over $1,000 on this setup. This is a pretty good company, and the quality on these things is amazing. The welds look great. Very good attention to detail. The flanges are super nice, brackets mounted. And the thing I really like about this whole setup is that it's not your standard exhaust that comes with clamps, regular clamps. They actually went the extra length to V-band everything so that it is easy for disconnecting and whatnot. So they have V-band flanges on all the ends, and it looks amazing. O2 bungs on all the pipes, so you can retain all your O2s. It's really a really nice piece that they sent. So we will link these downpipes in the description below so you guys can check them out yourselves. But it comes with the pipes, obviously, new gaskets, and the V-band clamps to attach at the V-bands. Obviously, the metal or the aluminum is pretty decently thick. Not a bad piece. Pretty impressed with the way they look. So let's keep going and start taking the car apart. The first thing we're doing is took the 2 plastic pieces off the top. Now we're removing the intake and the airbox to gain better access down below. Remember, guys, on older vehicles, you want to be careful when you're undoing clips. Little brackets, stuff like that, as they can be fragile, just to be aware. So he's pretty much gone through this whole car. It's been repainted. He just got it repainted. He's redone the brakes. He has pulled the top half of the motor apart pretty much and replaced a bunch of couplers and pieces in there, sensors and such. His car has come a long way, and he's doing pretty good with it. The whole interior is mint. It looks like it's brand new. It still smells brand new. I think after this full exhaust is done, he is going to be doing suspension next. I mean, when I say suspension, he's fully redoing everything, and it's probably going to be on a bag setup. So, the car's pretty awesome. Should be good to go. Alright, after the airbox is removed, next thing you want to do is undo the O2 sensor plugs. It's going to go green, brown, and black on the passenger side, right against the firewall. Undo those. And then there's another one down here, if you guys can see it, right there. And undo those. And then the coolant reservoir, you're just going to want to take these Phillips head screws out. There's 3 of them, looks like. And then what you're going to do is just lift this up and place it to the side to gain access below. To these latex gloves, strictly for my pleasure. Alright, just undoing the heat shield bolts on the passenger side. There's a EGT tube of some sort right there. Just got to loosen that up and pull that tube out. We should be able to pull the heat shield off on that side. And then we'll move over to this one. Alright, so that EGT can be a pain. Where is it? That tube down there with the silver hose connecting to the heat shield. We're letting that soak in PB Blaster. On this side, it's probably easiest if you move this bracket right here to get access. There's a bolt hole down there, you can see. That's a 10 mil for the heat shield. And then way down where, and try to get this light angled the right way, for the downpipe. And it is in between. So if you follow that clip down to where it goes behind the firewall, there's a little gap right there in the firewall, or in the heat shield I mean, and there's the first 17 millimeter bolt. So we got this off. I'll get a little bit more access down there. We're just chugging along, trying to get all the topside stuff done before we put the car in the air.
You want to get over here and take a look?
All right, there's another actual 10 mil heat shield bolt right down there where his socket's going. You're gonna need quite a bit of extensions to get down there. It's hidden behind the wires, just like how this one was on that side that I just showed you. Ooh, the taxi's got some blackouts on it. Just making a quick trip to the parts store. That EGT nut that's on there that has to be broken loose, you have to be very careful with that because it can be, there's like a protruding part that goes into the downpipe or the manifold, so you want to be careful, and you don't really want to round that bolt off. So we're running to the store to see if we can find a better solution of a 17 mil wrench that can get down there easy and prevent rounding off that nut. If not, we're gonna have to think outside the box, maybe grind off a part of the 17 and make a stubby or something. We'll figure it out, but we're on our way to the store.
Wrench. And then they're gonna fucking argue with me that they don't have it when I could look on their catalog and see that they fucking have it.
So needless to say, some of the employees that work at these places are not so bright.
No, they probably came from Bojangles right next door, got fired from there, and now they're working at the local fucking AutoZone.
All right, we're going to the store.
Something like this.
Where we can throw the 17 on the nut and then put a driver in there and be able to put a long extension up out of the engine bay and get some better leverage on it. Might do something like this, try it out.
All right, so I take back all the shit I was talking about AutoZone. So we found the tool that I need, last one in stock, shockingly. So I'm waiting at the cash register. The manager is trying to cash me out and then passes off the computer to an employee, and he can't get it to cash in. And I was just sitting there waiting patiently, looking around and whatnot. Dude pulls out his own card and buys me the tool. And I was like, what are you doing? He's like, I messed up, so because I messed up, I'm gonna buy you this tool. And I was like, hey, that's okay, man. Like, you don't have to do that. And he's like, no, he even printed me a receipt. So I really feel bad. I think what I'm gonna do is just use the tool, return it so he can get his money back, but I thought that was pretty cool.
So, AutoZone employee
of the year. Don't even know his name.
He messed up on the register and decided that, hey, I made a mistake, so I'm gonna pay for your tool.
Yeah.
We should have bought more stuff.
I really don't want him to get fired, so if this makes it on the internet, don't fire him. Yeah. He paid out of his own pocket, not with the store.
To rule them all. Think it's gonna work?
If it works. Yep. If I can get it around there, I can't even get it on there.
So it didn't work. So we're gonna use the same tool, but we're gonna cut it about right here to make it like a semi stub, so that we can clear this right here and get our hand down on it and push and see if we can break it loose. If that's the solution, I will go back over the tool and so you guys know what to do, so it makes it a little bit easier. Ah, I win. guys need to pick us if you want to make this really easy on that EGT bolt down there. All right, because of the clearance you have, you need to go buy a set of these. They're good to have.
They're like 20 bucks.
They're like 20 bucks. Duralast brand, 8-piece Crawfoot wrench. All right, metric. Put this on there with like a 3-inch extension or 2-inch, whatever this is. A short ratchet.
Make sure to take off the intake.
If you take off the intake Y pipe, it'll give you a little bit more room to work. But you can get this down there, down and around on that, right? And then take a breaker bar or a pipe off your jack.
Named
Sally. Put it over this, twist it, and it'll break it loose. It's a really easy way to do it. If we would have had this right off the bat, it would have helped. And now it's just hand loose down there, and it undoes itself, and it pulls right out.
Make sure you're very careful of this long.
This is what the sensor looks like. It goes all the way down in there, so make sure you're very careful.
Put a bag
and then put a bag over it so it doesn't get dirty, because it is a sensor. All right, so now it's out of the way. Now we can get this thing up on jack stands and start taking these pipes off. So, because they're on there pretty tight. Get some PB Blaster on there, let it soak, and get it off. All right, in this case, the whole exhaust that he has on here is going. So we're just sawing off the exhaust and gonna get the whole rest of the exhaust out of here because he's gonna have a whole new 3-inch fabbed off of the downpipe and test pipes. So go ahead. All right, so we're on to getting the downpipes out. Now, a lot of write-ups say that you can drop the subframe or pull the axles. We didn't really see the need to do that. We were about to, we were close, but with a little can-do attitude and some brute force and ignorance, we were able to get this thing out. We don't plan on reusing the heat shields that go around the downpipes. It's just not necessary. It's just not. I don't believe they help that much. We can heat wrap it if we want. They're far enough. The downpipes are far enough down where they'll catch enough air to pull back. You're not have to worry about heat soak as much. But the heat shields are a giant pain in the ass. Basically, what you need to do after you undo all the bolts on the heat shield, there's going to be a clamp like this at the bottom of the heat shield at the bottom side of the downpipe. Like I said, we're not using the heat shield, so we just snip these and we're not going to use them. Then what happens is the heat shield frees up and it's free to move around, but you get hung up on the O2 sensor. So once your O2s are unplugged, you can kind of shimmy the wire down and feed it through the hole in the heat shield where the O2 sensor is and pull that down so you're able to maneuver the heat shield around it. But we just grabbed a pair of tin snips and cut around where the O2 is on the heat shield so we can maneuver it around, and then started to cut off sections of the heat shield so we can maneuver it out of the car. That's what worked for us. That's what we're doing. We're not using heat shields. Justin doesn't want to run them, so we're just getting rid of them. So we just hacked them up. It was easier that way, and it freed up all the room to access the bolts of the downpipe. So here's the heat shield, mangled. We cut it into a million pieces to get it out of there, and got the bolts out. And down here, the downpipe's fully accessible. Now you have like 2 or 3 bolts on top that you can see, and then there's some bolts on the bottom, and the downpipe comes right out, and you can pull the O2 sensor out when you get it out, and that's about it.
I'll show you the little space.
So here's the downpipe out. We're gonna show you up here.
Come out right through this hole right here. This is where you would drop the subframe and the transmission. You don't need to do that. There's enough room right here to take the stock downpipe out once the heat shield is removed.
So, passenger side's out. While you're down there, it's a good idea to check your the shaft play on your turbos once they're accessible. Make sure those are good to go, because you wouldn't want to put everything back together and then find out down the road that your turbos are going bad and then have to go through there again. So we checked them, no shaft play, turbos are in good shape. And now we're gonna tackle the driver's side and be good to go. Another thing, I don't know if I mentioned or not, there's 2 plates next to the axles that are basically a shield on top of the axles that, you know, cover so that no debris or road grime or anything like that gets up into the engine bay. Trying to find them right now. These guys right here.
This is passenger side.
They have Allen head bolts. There's 3 of them, and they basically go into that by the boot of the axle in there, and they mount up top. I think on the transfer case, I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that.
6mm.
6 mil Allen, or number 6 Allen. But yeah, so we're moving on the driver's side. We're gonna get those out. Once the downpipes are out, you can remove the O2s and hook them up to the new downpipe. This is gonna be the replacement for the passenger side. As you can see, it's got all the brackets that match the stock one. Just like so. So, great piece. Get the driver's side off. And now that you guys know what you need to do, we're gonna just tackle the driver's side, get that out, and then we'll flip back when we're mounting the new pipes. All right, so we got the 3 bolts on the driver's side from the bottom, and got the O2 wrench up there enough to get to the O2 off. Once we got the O2 off, we were able to wrestle the heat shield out. Pain in the ass, but we pulled it through the top. And yeah, so now we should be ready for that last bolt on the downpipe, and we'll be ready to put the new downpipes on. And once, I mean, now we're at the point where it's just going to go smooth. These downpipes won't have an issue getting them on, so let's keep working. Last bolt's out, downpipe's coming out. Driver's side is near complete. How's the fighting going, bud?
Dude, I'm fucking, it's like Mike Tyson versus fucking Muhammad Ali in here. Where was it, Evander Holyfield? One of them. Yo, fire that thing into the street too. That was so much time in getting that one pipe out.
Fuck Audi. Fuck this downpipe. Let's go put the new ones in. All right, downpipes are out, and inspected both turbos. Both turbos, no shaft play at all, 0. So they were definitely replaced at some point. So
It's late, it's 12.
It's midnight. We're gonna call it a night. Come back tomorrow, and all we gotta do is just put the new gaskets on the turbo side on the freaking studs, and then mate the downpipe to it. Get those nuts hand started and start tightening this stuff down, and get the test pipes attached. So that's where we'll leave off tonight. We'll pick up tomorrow.
All right, so what you want is this beverage, this shirt, and these shoes. I'm not gonna say the name brand out loud, but that's what makes a successful night.
All right, guys, so the downpipes are in. They are in. They are in. They are in, finally. You can see one down there, and the other one over there. All right, one thing. On the driver's side and passenger side, do not install the O2 sensors on the pipes before you put them up there. Put the pipes up there, get them into place, and then you can put the O2s on. The driver's side, which is right here, there's gonna be a heat shield covering the body of the car where the exhaust comes down. It's 3 10mm nuts. Take that off, and then just twist the downpipe into position through the hole. It takes a little bit of maneuvering and like figuring out the right angle. But with this little shield removed and just that couple inches of space that it frees up, you'll be able to swing the pipe up into there just fine. So pipes are on. Now that's what it looks like when they come out. They're V-banded. We just got to bolt it to the flange right there to hold it in that bracket, and then put the Y pipe on, V-bend them down, and button up the top, and it's ready to go. So a lot of fighting, but well worth it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. All right, guys, so we're back at the house. My hair is weird right now. We're back at the house. I hope that video was very informative on how to do it. If you guys have a B5 S4 and you guys are putting downpipes on, hopefully that helps. If you just liked the video and liked watching it and liked us working on cars and wrenching, having a good time, either way, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you aren't subscribed already. That's going to do it for this episode. We will see you later. Peace.